Hello everyone, this is Bruno with a new segment called 10 Minutes or Less with Bruno No BS. A very simple and casual interview, no fancy cameras. Today I have the honor to speak with Ted, a legend in our roofing industry, and he is the president of IIBEC. How you doing, buddy?
Doing great, Bruno. How's it going?
So far, so good. Tell me, how long have you been in the roofing industry?
Gee, I got in the roofing industry almost when I graduated from school, so about 37 years.
When did you realize roofing would be a career for you?
I didn't know anything about it graduating from school, and when I got into it, I just found that nobody at that time had a great understanding technically. All of the information was passed down from person to person, and you felt like there was a bit of it was like black magic. Roofing was like black magic. You knew how to do it, but you didn't know why. So, I realized I'd like to learn about the why, and that sort of drove me forward in understanding more, and I just found it more fascinating as I kept going.
Can you tell a little bit about IIBEC, this great organization, IIBEC, and what IIBEC stands for?
Yep, IIBEC is an acronym, International Institute of Building Enclosure Consultants. We always say the first I is silent. So IIBEC used to be an organization called Roof Consultants Institute, RCI.
Yes.
And about 3 or 4 years ago, after a lot of our members figured that, roofing was one of the things they were doing, but not the only thing anymore, the Institute decided to change its name. And that was a really big event and sort of brought us in a new direction, but we still have to respect our roofing roots. Really represents, first and foremost, our roofing and building enclosure consultants by providing education, by providing networking opportunities, and really trying to better the roofing industry from the designer's perspective, I guess, the designer and the quality assurance perspective, and trying to be inclusive in that respect too. We encourage contractor members, we encourage members in the manufacturing industry and the suppliers coming to the table as well. We always learn a lot from them as well.
What do you need to do to become part of IIBEC?
Oh, to become a member, really, there's a membership for almost everyone. If you want to become what we call a consultant member, then you have to show that you're, working in the consulting side of the industry. Really, though, there's a membership for everyone. You can be an industry member, which means you're working in the manufacturing side, or you can be a contractor as well. It's just a different type of membership. But within IIBEC, we also have accreditations, which are technical accreditations, which kind of separate some of our members from others. RRO, Registered Roof Observer, and RRC, Registered Roof Consultant. Those are probably our two most popular accreditations that people try to get to. And really, any RCI, any IIBEC member can get those accreditations. And those accreditations, you get them after you write an exam and prove your level of experience. So there's sort of an application process.
So you need to follow a specific criteria, right?
That's right, to become accredited. Yeah, and we have the same kind of designations for exterior wall observers and consultants and waterproofing consultants as well. And same idea, you have some experience requirements, then you have an exam you have to write, and the experience, you also have to show that you're doing some ongoing professional development, which is where some of these online courses come in, and courses in person too is something we've done a lot of in the past.
What do you see for the future of our industry, for the new generation coming up right now?
Well, it's pretty exciting because there are always new materials, but I think the roof as part of the building enclosure is suddenly a really important thing when it comes to things like energy and things like sustainability and things like durability, all the things that we'd like our buildings to be doing better. Roofs are part of that. Roofing performance has to increase to meet some of these new goals that we have. And I think, people coming into the industry are going to be seeing all kinds of new ways of constructing roofs, going forward. There's going to be new materials. There are going to be new ways of installing those materials. I love your videos where you go back in time and not even in time, but people still doing it, using hot asphalt. That's the way
Absolutely.
I learned about roofing.
Same thing with me.
And it's a great technique, but there are reasons why people don't do it as much anymore, and something else has to be developed to take its place. So,
Right.
We're in the middle of that right now.
What is the importance of being a roofing consultant?
Well, I think being on the consulting side, it's a great sort of middle ground.
Because a lot of times, let me explain to you. A lot of times you see some roofers that has been 20, 30 years experience, and they sometimes had butt together with the roofing consultant, So
yeah,
it's a whole two different experience. But so how can you separate those and explain a little bit better? Describe a roofing consultant.
Yeah, roof consultants don't do roofing. That's one thing. We probably know something about how roofing's installed, about the materials, but we're not necessarily any good at installing them. And I think a lot of the work that roof consultants done on a project is done before the roofer gets involved, making sure that the system that's being proposed for the roof is actually going to work in the way that the way that it will get done. So between the time that the materials arrive on the job site, before that happens, there has to be a lot of planning that takes place, and even some design. We like to call it design. We like to say that.
So it's a lot of plans with manufacturers, roofing contractors, engineers for the building, so it's a lot, right?
Yeah, because when you think about it, roofing has, when you put on a roof system, it has to fulfill certain functions. It has to keep the water out, obviously. It has some other building enclosure functions. It has to insulate well. It has to provide a good air barrier. Has to put the vapor retarder in the right spot.
Good
you have to worry
system.
About drainage. And, you have to worry that you're not overloading the roof. If your new roof weighs more than your old roof, that could be a big problem, So there are some sort of issues beyond just the application of the materials that you kind of have to worry about with roofs. And I think that's part of where roof consultants come in. And the other thing is, your roofing has to tie in, especially in new construction, your work has to tie in with the work of other trades. So how does that happen? And where does one person's responsibility and the other person start? That's something that has to be worked out before you get on the job as a roofer.
I see a lot of times the roofing consultant too, they sometimes they advocate for the building owners if anything goes wrong, or sometimes to the roofing contractors too as well. That's the case sometimes, right? If anything goes wrong during the installation process, they hire a roofing consultant to go and either to be pairing up with the building owner, or sometimes with the manufacturer, or with the roofing contract, right?
Really, yeah. I mean, as a roof consultant, you like to think that the knowledge and the skills you have are able to help a building owner or a contractor or someone else. It's really just using what to either understand a problem or to solve a problem, and whether that's a problem that the owner has or a problem that a contractor has, it's these are the same problems. So it's I think it's a skill set that needs to be able to apply to you can't just have the owner's view of things or the contractor's view or the manufacturer's view.
Exactly. I agree with you. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time, brother. Next time I'm in town, lunch is on me, okay?